Hello guys, thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel videos. Today's video is actually not part of um, the plans, the outlines we came up with, but somebody asked a question and I want to address it. Someone said, how do I evaluate a portion of my ore body, a portion of my wireframe? You have modeled an ore body and you want to evaluate only a portion of it, not all of it. And someone says he's waiting for a day that I will teach how to section a model and compare with an institute data. So today we're going to look at that, but we shall go back and then do our estimations and determine. We'll go through the process, go through evaluation process. So to do that, I have my wireframes. I want to load the wireframe or the ore body. I want to cut a portion of it here. So to cut the portion, I am on plan view and this is my ore body. So to do that, you need to get a string. You need to identify the portion that you want to cut. Assuming I'm going to cut something like that out of this ore body and use it to evaluate. So I need to NS. Yes, you should know which particular portion you want to evaluate. So NS, then I put my string, then I close the CL, close string. So this is the portion of the wireframe I want to evaluate it. So I'm going to save this string. This is a new string. Right click, go to data, save as, extended precision determine. I want to give it maybe stop. Let me give it stop number 222. Then I'll okay it. Now you have your string over there on your wireframe. So to be able to cut this portion, go to structure. Before that, before you be able to cut, you have to highlight the string. Maybe the string wasn't highlighted. It's like this. If you do that, it wouldn't be able to cut for you. So you have to highlight it like this before. So after highlighting it, go to structure, come to plate, then divide by string. Click on that. When you click on that, you see input wireframe. Select the input wireframe, which is that. Let's see the input wireframe. Okay, I think we have double wireframes here. So let's unload one of them. Unload this. And this is what we're dealing with. Now this is what we're dealing with. So I'll go back to structure, plane, divide by string. Our input wireframe is this. It's a closed volume, and this is the new object divided WF, that's divided wireframe. That's going to be the name. can change the name if you want. You can finish and then change the name if you want, whichever. Outline only, yes, outline only, and then you can select additional cutting planes for this if you want. Plane of preference point, that is this. If you have some particular coordinates you want to, you can edit and OK it. Fuck. Okay, so the data mine just crashed, so I have launched it again. So highlight it, go back to structure, come to planes, divide by string. Your input wireframe is this, close volume, then outline only. Okay. Okay. So I'll hide this, and this is our, let me hide the grid line, then hide the string. This is the portion of the wireframe we want. So a part of the question has been answered, how to cut a portion of your wireframe. So this is the wireframe, divided wireframe, that's the output. So I'm going to rename it as stop 222, and I'll save. Okay, so you have it there, just changing the color. So this is your stop 222, which you pick from this portion of the wireframe you've already done. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. Now, the second part of the question is how to evaluate. We need to fill cells into this little wireframe and then to evaluate what is inside. So we are considering it as stop. We want to evaluate what is inside using the mod split methods to do that. So what we'll do is go to models, then you come to split. But before that, you need to load your model. So come to your project, come to block models. This was my final block model. I have named them 1, 2, 3, 4. This was my final one. So I'll drag it into my project. Drag it into my project and look for it. So you see it there. Double click, come to blocks, apply, because it's now covering that. Color it by its attributes. The legends, I think I use this. I have taught you how to create legends, so I'm not going to explain that again. Then I'll color, display it. Okay, so this is the block model we want to fill the portion of the wireframe we just cut. So with that, you can now come to models split. And inside this form, you have your block in. So I'll select block model, which is mod 4. Then you have your wireframe. The wireframe is going to be the wireframe that I have cut. So I'm going to select the wireframe that I have cut, that is stop 222. That is 8 triangles. You go back and select it point. Then this is it point. Okay. So let me give it a name. Stop 222. Then same name, stop 222. 222. Mod. Let me give it mod. They give this one out. Okay. Over here we have a density, a default density in the if you want to edit, you can just select density here, but I have default density in the model, so I just want to maintain that. If you come to parameters, the default one, that is 1, and that is if you want the interior of the wireframe you have cut to be filled with cells, and so 1 is okay for us. If you select 2, it means that you want the exterior to be filled with cells, which we don't want. Filling on XY plane with this block model, I mean the all body, where the all body is moving, XY plane is okay for me. If you drop down, you have XZ, YZ, whichever, but I need XY plane. The subcells also depends on the user block size. I want to leave it a default value of 1, 1 based on the user block size I have put. So just want to leave it 1 1 there, and so I'll click apply. Wait for it to run. Can be seen here, mod split complete. You see they said mod split complete. If you had wanted, would you just type here mod splits, that is split the model, and enter. The same form that would have come out, and we go through the same process, but this is the button for it. So that's this. So now let's check our output, what is in there. I'm going to hide this, leave it wireframe, come to project, there are block models, so come to block model and drag it in, go back to sheets, double click on sheets, send it to blocks, and you'll be able to see it properly. If you apply, it should be in. Let's color it this is the legend we use, and gold. Okay, that. So this is your model you have cut inside the wireframe you have cut. So you have filled the wireframe you have cut with model. So this is our interest area. This one will be evaluated to know the average grades or the mean grades, and you will know how many tons do you have in this. Okay, so with that you can just type on the command prompt button and just say ton graph. You see the ton graph, TONGRAD, graph. Then you enter or use this correct button. Just take that. If you enter this, the input file is the model, which is this. Then give it a name. I'll put tongue graph. This is an optional CSV thing. So if you want, let me put this rep CV. Let me give this a rep. This one is this one. CV2, save city. If you come here, well, you can report good. Sorry. If you want to report what the density in the model, you can just select this. If you want the default density file, go to parameters. This is a factor, multiplying factor, which depends on the company and what to use. So by default it's 1. So click OK and wait for it to run. Tongrad process complete. Okay, so if Tongrad process complete, come back to your project. It will be under report. Open it. If you open, you will see the volume, the tons, the density of 1 as by default, and you see the mean grade, that is 1.795. You can save this one in Excel. Save as CSVs and leave it this. Leave this. So that's that. There's also another way that you could have used to compute this process, and that one is coming to report. You come to report wireframes, and the input model is this. In the output, I will choose that cutting that I've used. Okay, so I want the default is 1.01, so I want a 0.5 with an increment of 0.5. Okay, So it's going to be a closed volume. I don't want this one. I don't also want this one. Okay, so apply. Yes, so this is what I'm getting. This is a total tons, total, then the mean rate 2 is this. So you can export this one to CSVs. Export to CSVs. So export. So here, these are absent values. You can delete that. Okay, so this much. So that is the total. The block ID, if you want, you can delete that. Also delete the density. And delete the unmatched. So from 0 to 0.5, 0.5 to 1, 1 to 1.5, 1.5, 4, and blah 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 to that. So this is what you have. Thank you so much for watching, and I believe I've answered your questions. The next time, what I will do is to estimate so that you see how the process is done before you get to this stage. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe. Bye.